Hi everyone! So in today's video, I wanted to go over the Hoya I have in my collection because I've actually collected quite a few of them in the past couple months. So to be completely honest, and I hope I don't get hate for admitting this, but I'm not much of a Hoya person. I don't really understand the hype surrounding Hoyas. With that said though, I do like Hoyas. And there are a few that I have wanted, but I still look at most of the Hoyas out there and just don't get why we're collecting them, or people collect them. But I digress. This video is about showing you guys my Hoya collection. So I'm gonna present these to you guys in order that I acquired them. I don't wanna say purchase because I only actually purchased one Hoya. The one thing I'll admit about Hoyas is they're fun to trade. So if I get more Hoyas in the future, it's fully gonna be because of trading, because trading Hoyas is fun. Anyways, I digress again. So I'll start with the first Hoya I ever acquired. Actually, that's a lie. The first Hoya I ever acquired was a Hoya Heart. So it's the ones where they take the hearts and they put them in the soil and it doesn't grow into a plant. And I got that like really earlier in my plant parenthood. But anyways, I traded that one away like really early after I found out that it wouldn't actually grow into a plant. And then the second Hoya I actually acquired was an Hoya Australis Lisa cutting that I got as a gift, and I killed it. I don't know how, I just did. It just, one day it was all mushy and I threw it away. So it took me a few months to recover from that, and I thought I'm never gonna get a Hoya ever again, but alas, I did. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you all the Hoyas I've gotten, and I haven't killed any of these ones. First Hoya I got was it's actually my favorite Hoya, and it's kind of one of the Hoyas that I actually wanted. And that's saying a lot because I don't want a lot of Hoyas, but it would be this Hoya Linearis. I got this one in a trade, and in the trade I got, I want to say like 3 to 5 cuttings, and since then I've chopped this plant a lot and replanted those into the moss. I have it growing in sphagnum moss right now. My goal for this overall is to get it growing long and trailing. But anyways, I really like this plant because the leaves are fuzzy. I don't know, I have a thing for fuzzy leaves, so I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, this, basically the stem and the leaves are just covered in fuzz. So the second Hoya I got in my collection is the only Hoya I ever purchased. And this is a Hoya that I wanted. It might be an overrated plant, some might say, but I really liked it because I thought it was really unique, and that would be the Hoya Polyneura. So I paid, if I remember correctly, it was approximately $55 Canadian plus tax. So that's, I guess, a decent price for these because I see them going for more. But I really, really like this plant because of the fishtail shape of these leaves. So anyways, this is like the only Hoya I actually had on my wish list prior to having any Hoya, and I did manage to purchase one last fall. So I've actually cut this plant up a lot as well and planted those cuttings back in the moss in hopes of, you know, creating a more full trailing plant, and that's the goal for this one as well, because I've seen some really nice Hoya Polyneura trailing full pots out there, and that's kind of what I want to do with this one. So the next 4 Hoya I'm going to show you I actually got in one trade. So I traded with a friend on Instagram, and basically any Hoya she was offering me was kind of like fair game because I didn't have any Hoya, so it was kind of easy to be like, oh yeah, I don't have that one, I'll take one, a cutting. So anyways, the first one I'm going to talk about is the Hoya Bella, and this is the Hoya Bella Louis Bois. So this is the Hoya that has the white variegation on the inside and then green edges. So this one's super, super cute. So when I saw this Hoya on like social media, I was interested in it. It was really cute, and when these grow like really full and bushy, that's kind of what I want to do with this one, is get it really nice and bushy and on a trellis. And it grows pretty fast, so yeah, I really like this one. The variegation on it is really pretty. It's like a very pretty Hoya. So another one I got in this trade would be the Hoya Elliptica. The leaves are pretty stiff, and yeah, I mean, it's cute. I think people call it the turtle shell Hoya because it kind of looks like a turtle shell with the veining. But yeah, I like this one too. It's cute. I had a little bit of issues with transferring this one into soil because I was rooting them in moss and then put them into soil and the roots rotted. But it's adjusting the soil now. It's stopped yellowing and hopefully I'll see new growth on it soon. So yeah, this is the Hoya elliptica. Another Hoya I got in the trade, and this was a Hoya that was on my wish list as well. There's a few people I follow on Instagram that have this plant. And honestly, the foliage is not that spectacular. And this is the Hoya patella. So the reason I wanted this one is because of the blooms actually. So I'll insert a photo of what the blooms look like. And essentially it's just like a single larger, not like super large, but larger pink flower. I think there's different colors too, but the one that I was specifically kind of eyeing was the Hoya patella pink. So she gave me a cutting of this. I'm really happy I got it. It hasn't shown any growth and I've had it for a few months, but I think it's rooted. It's just, I guess, a slow growing Hoya. And then the last Hoya I got in this trade would be the Hoya Mathilde. I think like any plant collector or Hoya collector has a Hoya Mathilde, and I can see why. It's actually like super cute. This is like a Hoya that I kind of didn't even look twice at. I just kind of ignored it, but then once I saw it in person I was like, oh damn, this is actually super cute. So I'm glad that I was given this cutting and was able to realize how, you know, cute it actually is. The leaves have a little bit of the leaves and stem have a little bit of a fuzz to it as well, which is nice. And I also struggled transferring this one from moss to soil and lost a few leaves and a peduncle, sad face. But it's adjusting to soil now. It stopped yellowing and I see some new growth. So yeah, the goal for this one is to have it on a trellis eventually. Okay, so next Hoya I got was also in a trade, but it's a different trade, I guess. This was like a spontaneous kind of Hoya trade that I did with one of my friends on Instagram. And that would be the Hoya Sunrise. And the goal for this one is to sun stress it so that it's red. So this is the Hoya that turns red. I'll insert a photo of what it looks like when it turns red. Yeah, so I got this one into soil and I think it transferred into soil really well. And no growth yet, but you know, gotta be patient. This one's fairly new. Got it sometime in the spring. So the next Hoya I traded for, if you guys watched the video I posted before this one, I did a little houseplant shop tour at a local plant shop in Toronto. And the reason I went there was to do a trade. So the owner there agreed to trade me this is a Hoya Villosa Cowdang, and I gave her a cutting of my Hoya Polynera. So the reason I traded for this one was because it's fuzzy. So I've never seen one of these in person, but I had heard that the plant was fuzzy, like the back of the leaves felt fuzzy, and they are. They're very, very fuzzy and I really love it. It came to me rooted in soil and I haven't seen any new growth on it yet, but again, I've only had it for a couple of weeks, so I'm not mad that there's no new growth. But anyways, yeah, this one's also kind of veiny, which is cute. And yeah, I think this is one of my favorites right now. Once it starts showing me growth, it might become my favorite Hoya, but we'll see. So the last Hoya I got was a gift, or kind of like a trade, because I ended up giving that friend also a cutting. It was kind of like we traded without telling each other we were gonna be trading, so it's funny. But anyways, this is a Hoya, it's a Hoya Pachiclata, I think. That's what it said on the card. So it's a nice big green leaf Hoya. I don't have much to say about this one at the moment. I just got it like a couple days ago, but I like it so far. I'm a big fan of big leaves, so a big leaf Hoya is something I could get on board with. Yeah, it's rooted in moss. I'll eventually get it into soil as well. But yeah, this one's a fun little addition that I wasn't expecting, but I'm glad I have it in my collection now. So yeah, that concludes the Hoyas that I have in my collection. There's 9 of them. It'll be kind of interesting to see if I collect any more Hoyas as time goes on. There isn't any of them I'm really seeking out. One that I'm kind of eyeing that I'm hoping I'll get in a trade at some point in the future is a Hoya Thompsonii, because those ones are super fuzzy, and like you can see from my collection, I have a thing for fuzzy leaves. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!